I have learned a lot. I've learned to do things that make myself happy. Don't let people that box you out make you feel any less.
Hi, I'm A.T. Furuya. I'm the Youth Program Senior Manager for GLSEN, and welcome to today's Culture Close-Up for the HBO documentary film Transhood. We will be joined by two of the film's subjects, Lena and Jay. How did you feel about the film and the experience and how it all came together?
I think it's like groundbreaking. I've never seen anything like this, especially with all of our varying ages. I think that that's really interesting to get a point of view from how early as a trans person you can feel that authentic self.
The main reason why I did it is because you always have to look out for others that don't have a voice. What was put in the documentary will help people that have no idea what kids go through in this process. It will help families, and it will be an eye-opener.
Lena, if you're comfortable in high school, how did you navigate identity harassment and bullying? How does it feel looking back at that?
When it comes to school, it was just kind of an everyday thing. I don't think a lot of my peers really knew what was going on. They thought it was more of an act or something like that. There were always the jokes, there were always the slurs, there were always things. I was walking through the hallway and I heard on the intercom someone called my old name, my dead name, that had been changed for 2 years. I would just sit in my car and have a panic attack for hours. Who's the problem going to be with today? Is it going to be with a teacher? Is it going to be with a student? I hope everybody who's watching this, in their experience has it easier.
I'm so sorry that you went through that. I don't believe anybody deserves that kind of harassment and bullying. Jay, do you mind sharing a little bit about your experience?
Teachers put me in the corner that would box my whole desk off from other students. Parents didn't feel safe for me to be in the same room as their children. I had recess inside. My bathroom breaks weren't with everybody else, they were separate. Most of my schooling was alone, at a desk, boarded off. People saw me being trans as a disease, that I was going to infect the other students.
You've had to just endure so much. Sorry that happened. Can you share a little bit about your Nana and your situation and where things at right now?
My Nana is my mom's mom. Since I was little, I would go to her house all the time. We just had this relationship, and she's one of those persons that were set in her ways. At first, when my mom came to my Nana, she was very against it. She thought that my mom was influencing me or forcing me. She didn't like it. But now, through the process, she's one of my #1 support systems. I go visit her. I always keep her up to date. She wrote me a card for my birthday, and it said, "I love you, grandson." So I think she has grown a lot, and we're super close now.
Sometimes when we think, oh, there's just no way, and then they come around, and that's amazing. So Lena, it was really remarkable to see how supportive your dad was. Had he always been that supportive, or was that something that he had to grow into?
He came around, but now that he's kind of seen me blossom into the woman I am, he's overjoyed with being able to support me and have my back on everything. My mom has definitely put in so much work on helping him understand. So happy that they're both, accepting of my transition and who I am now, because I know quite a few people who don't have that luxury in life, and I couldn't imagine that road.
So I identify as non-binary, more specifically agender, so I don't identify with gender at all. I think when folks hear transgender, they automatically think trans man or trans woman, and they don't often think beyond what other gender possibilities there are. Have you had non-binary friends or interacted with non-binary folks?
Yeah, I had a good friend. They went by them, and they went by their name. They were very free-spirited, and they were like, I don't want to be either. I'm not he or she. I am neither one of those things. I am me. I love that people can do that. I love that people have the strength to say, this is me, and I don't want to go by anything.
Do you think that was an interesting piece of the film, that there was not as much of a focus on medical transition and just more of a focus on how do we accept people and their identities? I think a big movement in the trans community is around like being enough, like you are enough. How you show up, your whole and all of your identity, whether you've had affirming surgery or not. A lot of the young people I work with just want to live their lives. Like, it's not like a kid comes out and then now they have to put this cape on and be the trans crusader to let everyone know about what it means to be trans. We saw that in the film with some of the younger kids who are just trying to live their life. Folks who want to advocate, they're the ones who opt into that advocacy, but it's not owed to anybody. What you did for the film was voluntary, and a lot of folks are going to learn a lot. Thank you for that.
I want more people to just be aware that this is a reality and not a game. A huge thing that I wanted to do with the documentary too was I really wanted to break down that stereotype that it's a temporary thing that we're doing. I wanted it to just be a more validated thing for people to see and to understand it and, respect it more. So when we are out in public or when we're, at the gym or when we're whatever we're doing, we can be recognized for who we are and seen as who we are and have that validation from our peers.
My advice to parents and to guardians is do your own homework, do your research, connect with an organization. There are some really great organizations that you can look into, whether that's protecting your kid at school or at home with family. Parents are also navigating what this means for them. If a parent came up to you and was like, I have a trans kid potentially, what do I do? What advice would you give them?
I think understanding that this is not just a temporary feeling, that at a very young age, a lot of trans people do know who they are.
Listen to your child. Listen to what they want. If they want to cut their hair, if they want to dress like a guy, they want to dress like a girl, let them figure out who they want to be.
There's nothing wrong with allowing your kid to have that experimental time. Once you're an adult, the world is a little bit more cold to you and not so forgiving.
The thing that everybody calls it is a phase. Well, what if it is? You know what I mean? Like, what if they just want to try something because they think that maybe that's going to make them feel comfortable? And I'm not saying trans is a phase at all, but I'm saying that people sometimes, they like to try things before they say, this is me, this is who I am. And when I did try it, that is who I want to be. It made me absolutely happy. It made me comfortable with my skin. And that's who I was.
Don't be afraid to introduce them to older people who are trans. And more than anything, just love your child, because unconditional love is irreplaceable. Not everybody's lucky enough to have it. Just really love your child and support them and make them feel wanted and seen.
That unconditional love is a matter of life and death for a lot of young people. The most important piece is allowing folks to be who they are and allowing folks to show up as their authentic selves. And that's going to be a major guidance for parents as they support their kid.
Listen to what they want. Listen to what they need. Because you could change their whole entire world. They will forever respect that. And they will forever see that you're their #1 supporter by letting them be who they want to be.